Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're getting into something really powerful. It's this idea of transforming personal pain, the challenges you faced, into actual value, real success.
Yeah, and we're basing this on a pretty provocative piece. It's called Productizing Your Pain, a path to power and riches.
Right. And our mission really is to figure out how these negative experiences, the stuff we usually just want to push away, can be, well, reframed and even leveraged.
And what immediately jumps out from this piece is how it defines pain. It's pretty radical. Instead of something you run from.
Which is what most of us do.
Exactly. It says pain like heartbreak, failure, humiliation, even a job that just crushes your soul. It argues these things are actually a goldmine.
A gold mine, wow. Okay, that's definitely not the usual take.
Not at all. It's like a hidden resource just waiting there.
So when it talks about productizing your pain, what does that actually mean? Is it just about making money off misery, or is there more to it?
Oh, it's definitely deeper than just cash. It's about consciously taking those struggles, your personal struggles, and turning them into something valuable. Solutions, maybe, or offerings that can help other people.
Okay.
You see, the piece points out that most people, they try to numb the pain, right? Netflix, alcohol, whatever, distractions.
Sure, standard coping mechanisms.
But it says the rare few use pain as a forge. That's the word they use.
A forge, like for metal.
Kind of. It's this idea of taking that raw, molten emotion, as they put it, and actively shaping it, molding it into value, into something that pays, into something that frees.
That's a huge shift in thinking. So successful people then, how do they fit in? Is it that they just don't have as much pain?
Not according to the source, no. It argues they don't have it easier at all. They just refuse to let their pain be wasted. That's the key difference.
They refuse to waste it, okay.
They basically mastered this internal alchemy, you could say. They turned scars into systems.
Scars into systems.
Yeah, and losses into lessons, trauma into tools. That's where the real insight is for you listening. It's about deliberately, actively transforming the bad stuff.
Okay, so how does this alchemy actually work? I mean, in the real world, the piece gives some, well, pretty striking examples.
It does. They're quite direct.
Like, if you got fired, it literally suggests you could start a consulting brand teaching others how to never need a boss again.
Right. Or the one about a partner cheating.
Yeah, what was that?
It says, build a physique so lethal the world has to notice, then monetize the process, step by step.
Whoa. Okay, that's intense.
It is intense, maybe a bit extreme in its framing for some, but the core idea, I think, is about channeling that intense energy, channeling it into a project, something tangible like self-improvement, and then sharing how you did it, the process.
I see. And for growing up poor.
The advice is document your climb, sell the mindset that got you out. It's all about leveraging your specific journey, your story.
It really makes you rethink your past, doesn't it?
Completely. The piece just comes right out and says it.
Yeah.
Everything you've been through was never a curse. It was an investment.
An investment, wow.
A deposit into your future business, your future brand, your future empire.
That's a powerful reframe. But like the author says, a lot of people haven't seen the withdrawals from that investment.
Because they never started building. That's the catch. You have to build something.
Right. Which leads to the challenge, the dare, really, that this piece puts to you, the listener, to actually productize that pain.
Start the YouTube channel, write the ebook, build the course.
Design the brand, launch the mentorship, whatever it is. The message is basically, your story is already valuable if you dare to sell it.
And that dare is everything. It makes that final point really hit home.
Which is?
If you just sit on your pain, it just stays pain. Nothing changes.
Right.
But if you move on it, it becomes power. And, well, the piece adds, in this world, power pays. It really highlights that taking action is what makes the transformation real.
So, the takeaway here seems clear. Those really tough experiences you've had, they're not just something to survive. They could actually be your biggest assets.
But only if you take that step. Only if you act on it.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you to consider.
Yeah, think about this. What piece of your own personal investment, what past pain or challenge are you just sitting on right now? What might happen if you actually dared to turn it into action? What could it become? Something to think about until next time.